What's going on, guys? It's Nick Wright from NWB. Welcome to the channel. Now, if you have not already subscribed, make sure you check out the last couple of videos leading up to this video, or else this video really won't make sense. See, we're in peak week right now for the 2012 Mr. Muscle Beach Championships out in the famous Venice Beach, California on the 4th of July. Now, peak week, again, for those of you who are not subscribed, means that, well, literally, we're in the week where you begin timing and manipulating your levels of carbohydrates, fats, sodium, water, training, you name it, so you can peak perfectly for not only the day of the show, but the actual time that you step on stage. You don't want to show up too hard, too flat, too soft, too dry. You want to be just right. So today is the third and final training day of peak week. To find out my training schedule, make sure, of course, you subscribe and watch the last two videos about training on peak week. And you'll notice that today is random. It's not set scheduling like the other 2 days. It's pretty much just a full body circuit. Literally only one exercise for each muscle group. Real light, real simple. Kyle Hunt recommends not doing legs the week before a show, as do a lot of people, because the more you pump up your legs, the more blood they hold, and it almost has an opposite effect. Unlike the rest of your muscles, the more fluids in your legs, obviously, the more smooth they're going to look. They're not going to have as many lines going across them or running through them because they won't be as dry. So you actually want to keep your legs a little bit less pumped, and you never want to pump them up backstage. But for me, I've just noticed that they always look best when I do train them very lightly and just briefly touch on them the week before a show. So that's what I did, just a set of squats, a little bit of calf raises here. I was actually holding onto a 45-pound dumbbell. My calves are actually a really genetic strong point. I just never, ever train them. And honestly, they look bigger in person than they do in real life. I always get comments on them in real life. The camera just doesn't show them for whatever reason. I mean, if I began training them, the difference would be amazing. I kind of regret not training them as hard. But yeah, that's about it. Just one exercise for every muscle group, and this will be the final training day of peak week. The next 2 days we rest, and then the third day after that will be the day of the competition. My meals today, well, I finally have the macros in front of me. The last two videos I just listed the meals because I didn't have the numbers in front of me, but today I'll just go over the macros. I had 2,759 calories, 233.5 grams of protein, 323.5 grams of carbohydrates, so my carbs are high, and I'm actually still beginning to flatten out a little bit with my carbs being that high because I'm very carb sensitive, and Kyle Hunt has a specific plan for me that we talked about in the last video. And then my fats were at 59 grams of fats. So I'm still, I'm definitely not flat. Well, I'm beginning to flatten out even still. You can see I'm a little bit softer looking right now. I'm not as grainy, I'm not as veiny as I was in the last video even, so even just a day made a difference. But my calories and carbs are still pretty high peak week. I don't cut out carbs at all. I don't really think it's fully necessary, especially going into a non-natural show. Being a natural athlete, I have to stay full and hold on to as much size as possible. So we went over pose and practice in the last two videos, just hitting a couple quick shots here. Not too much to show because, again, I'm starting to get that not looking so good kind of a look. But anyway, final training day. 2 more days to go, and then we step on stage at Muscle Beach.